Hey everyone, it's Lori from Scraps by Sissy. Happy Thursday everyone. I hope your week is going well. We had some rain this morning. It's so beautiful outside. The sun's come out and everything looks so clean. And that beautiful tree that you see of mine that I've posted pictures on, all the leaves are gone except for a couple. So sad. I wish those colors would last a little longer. I hope your week is going well. If you join me this morning, I'd love for you to stop and say hello. If I don't talk to you, don't take it personal. I'm going to be trying to figure out what I'm doing here. This week we're going to play with that new early release suite of products called Eden's Garden. So here's the stamp set. These beautiful, and this is a distinctive image here, and it's got, the fonts are really kind of cute, and then here are the dies that go with it. It's a really elegant type stamp set. I'll show you the papers and the gems. Here's the specialty DSP. Let's see if I can put this over here so I don't knock something down. There's gold foiling in the different patterns on the front, and then the back are just regular patterns. So you can see I've been playing with it. And the main color palette is Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent, which those are two of my favorite colors right now. You'll see this, we were playing with that piece, and you can see the back is just a printed pattern, and that splattered pretty. That'll be cute on a scrapbook page, I'm sure. You'll see those coming. And then here's an ombre layer. Isn't that beautiful? That'd make a beautiful card front too. And then, what do we got here? That's a pretty loud sheet. And then there's the back side of it. Isn't it gorgeous? I'll show you the scrap. Oh, and then it has this cotton paper it's thicker than tissue paper. Let me set these aside. And I wasn't really sure what to do with it. Get this open for you. And it, like I said, it's kind of like tissue paper, only it's thicker. It's got this shiny side and then the cottony side on the front. And you get 10 sheets, 5 of each color. And then the gems are beautiful. They didn't have them when I first created the sample card for today. So I used the gold pearls, but those work just fine. So here are these gems, and they're done in the Soft Succulent, and then it's got Evening Evergreen with some Cherry Cobbler in the tones. But aren't those beautiful? I've got a runner here. So let me show you the card that we're doing today. Where did I put it? I just had it. I just started and I'm already a mess. Oh, goodness gracious, Lori. I don't know what I did with my... Oh, I guess I could show you my scrapbook page. That'll help. Oh, bless her heart. So here's my scrapbook page. I used a piece... Oops, knocked off one of my gems. Boy, are you in for a treat today with this hot mess. Well, we'll have to fix that later. I used a piece of 12 by 12 designer series paper, or God, can we rewind this and start over? I used a piece of Evening Evergreen 12 by 12 for the background, and then some of that beautiful DSP. Here is that cotton paper. I did stamp on it with the thought that when I lay my 5 by 7 photo in here, that'll just peek out, but I'm afraid I stamped too low. This I did not attach all the way so that I can just slip that picture in here. In this little sentiment area, I die cut this twice. I'll show you this die. Okay, here it is right here. And basically it die cuts this frame, and then this is just an empty piece. So I cut it twice, once with gold and once with white. I glued my white on, and then I added liquid glue behind the gold and just fitted into these openings that it left, kind of like a puzzle piece. I thought that kind of looked cool. I think looking back, had I really thought about it, I might have die cut the bigger flower or something, you know, fussy cut it and laid it behind, but I think it's going to be an elegant page. And then I add some of those beautiful gems, one that flew away and then a couple up here. So I thought that was kind of pretty. All right, so let's make this card, and maybe by the time I get done with this, I will find the original. Let me give you the measurements on it. The card base I'm going to be doing in soft succulent. The first one, the sample that has disappeared from us, was done in evening evergreen. The base is cut at 5.5 by 7 inches and it's scored at 4 1/4. An easy way to do that is use an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock and just cut 1.5 inches on off the side. My designer series paper is, the front one is 2.5 inches by 5 1/4, and then I have a 1 inch strip on the inside that's 1 inch by 5 1/4, and then my inside layer is 4 inches by 5 1/4. The layout that I just showed you, the evening evergreen was 12 by 12. I cut that designer series paper layer to 11 3/4 by 11 3/4, just so you had a bit of that evening evergreen peeking out. And then the layer for the photo is cut at 5 3/4 by 7 3/4, and then that cotton piece that I cut was 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. So let's get started on our mystery card since I can't find the sample. Apparently, I must have picked it up. Hang on. Okay. I found the sample. It was stuck to the designer series paper. So this is what I was talking about at the 5, what did I say it was? 5.5 by 7 inches, and I scored it at 4 1/4. Wow, what a show this morning, huh? So when I did this, I wanted to give you another look using the base, the soft succulent base instead. See how that turns out. But the way my morning's going, you just never know. So we're going to fold that card base down, and we're going to add our designer series paper to the front. And you can see it's just a very subtle foiling on this piece. It's just got the little dots. And I'm just going to add some Stampin' Seal to it. I'm going to add that to the front right there. Okay. Now, when I did this card here, I used Stampin' Seal to attach this, and it kind of bled over on the outside and it got all over the inside of my card. So today we are going to use mini glue dots instead. So let me get some mini glue dots out. And here we go. I figured this would just be a cleaner way to attach this. And we're going to add them to the edge of my cardstock. Like so. These are just left over from a paper pumpkin. You know how we crafters are. We never throw anything away. Hence the stash of stuff. But it all gets used at some point or another. Okay, we'll put that aside. And we'll pop these tops off. I was able to use an adhesive eraser to get most of it off the inside layer of my sample card. I was a little worried there for a bit. Okay, let's move these out of the way. So I'm going to lay him down like that. And this is die cut out of our brushed metallics. And we're just going to lay it down just below the stitched mark. There we go. Much cleaner. So now we're going to stamp. We're going to use some soft succulent ink. We're going to stamp that beautiful flower. Let's move him over. I'll get my grid paper to use as a backdrop so that I don't get it all over my mat. And it's a fairly good size stamp. So, okay. Make sure it's stamped. Okay, it is inked. Good, 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 good. I had the heater off in my studio. When it gets real cold, the inks don't like to work well. So we're just going to stamp him. We'll stamp him this way. Just like so. Okay. Now, you see all the little edges there? That means there's a lot of ink in that stamp, but that's okay. I'm going to stamp off and stamp the front of my envelope. See how much different it looks when it's stamped off? So using an ink pad that's not quite as juicy will help alleviate some of those dark lines that you see along the edges. It doesn't ruin the image at all, just makes it a little bit darker. We're going to add this to our circle. I'm going to pick this thing up. There we go. And then we're going to add him to the front with dimensionals. And this is where we're going to use up some of our dimensional pieces. You don't ever want to throw any of those pieces away. I'm just going to cut these edges like so. Flip him over. There, use up every bit of those dimensionals. Put that aside. We're going to stick him right about here. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiment on this layer. And it's got that beautiful font. Now I'm going to use Evening Evergreen for my sentiment. I like the way it stamps sentiments. And we're just going to stamp it right in the... I'm going to stamp it a little bit to the right so that we have room for our gold foil flowers. There we go. Let's close this up so I don't put my finger in it, because the way today's going, you never know what's going to happen. So let's add some more dimensionals. And you only want to add them on the left side. It looks like we have some pieces left over here. Let's get those out of there. And I was die cutting yesterday. There we go. Oh, we're missing one. There. Okay. So you just want to add those to the left so that you don't end up closing your card since it's a shorter front. And we're going to add him right about there. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my little die cut leaf. Good morning, Sherry. How are you? Welcome to the chaos. You know me. Bless her heart. She tries so hard. She really does. Okay. You know, I think I've been doing this long enough that I should be really good at it, but apparently not. It's funny, when I'm setting up for my Facebook Lives, I get those jitters in my tummy. It's terrible. Okay, so we're going to add him there. Now we're going to add some of these beautiful gems. I'm going to add a couple of big ones up here, or these are the little ones. And these actually look a lot better than the gold ones. They kind of give it a bigger pop with the soft succulent. And I'm going to put another one right about there. And let's just add one more. These are really pretty. I like them. Put one in here. All right, our card front is done. Let's stamp our inside. Now, I'm going to use soft succulent again to stamp my little leaves in here. Just going to stamp just like that. And then, apparently it wasn't that cold in here, being that those ink pads are so juicy. Now we'll stamp our sentiment. We want to keep it all the way to the left since we have that other layer of Designer Series paper. I'm going to stamp it right here. There we go. And then we'll add this guy. here at the edge. Okay. Add him to the inside, and let's put this away because I know what I'm going to do. There. Now we'll add this guy to the inside of our card, and we'll be done. There we go. Okay, so there's that card, and here is, let's put these away. Here's the original sample. Which one do you like better? I like them both, actually. Those gems kind of make that white pop, and the gold make the dark pop, so they're both beautiful. Well, I thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with me this morning, even though it was a little bit of chaos going on. I couldn't find my sample. I'm going to go over and finish my blog post. It'll have links to my online store where you can purchase your own set of this beautiful paper and stamps and gems. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And again, I thank you for stopping by. Take care. Bye.